Hello everyone, so this is a card process video of a Valentine's Day card, and I'm just starting off by inking up just a white piece of cardstock that I had, and I sped this up quite a bit because it's just me inking up a piece of white cardstock, but I'm using the Distress Ink peeled paint for that, and I finished that fairly quickly, and I just wiped off my craft mat so it wouldn't stay dirty. And then I grabbed my Cuttlebug and I embossed it with that Cuttlebug embossing folder. I think it's called Conversation or Conversation Hearts. And I had gotten that in a bundle a few years ago. So here I'm just going to run that green paper that I had just inked up, and I'm going to run it through my Cuttlebug with the embossing folder. I thought it'd be cute if the grass had the conversation hearts and it would make it more Valentine's Day themed. So I did that. And now I pulled out this die set. I believe it's from X-Cut, I think it's called. It's a vintage hot air balloon die. And this is supposed to be a cloud die, but I think it works well to make bushes as well. So I just put it on one side, and I want it to be continuous, so I die cut it once and then die cut it again, so it'll be a continuous cut. And you can see I had a little overhang. I just pulled it off and it was fine. So for the paper, it has little leaves on it. I used the Doodlebug Springtime paper pad that you see there. And I'm just going to cut off some of it because I thought it was just a little too wide for what I wanted. So just cut off a bit of that. And now I'm just kind of laying it out. I like to do this when I do my cards just to make sure that the sizing is right and I like the way it's looking. So I like that. I like the thickness of that. And here's a dog house that I hand drew the day before. I couldn't find any dog houses in my stash. I only found one and I didn't really like it for this card, so I just hand drew that one and colored it in with my Prismacolors. Here I'm going over the edges of the bushes with my peeled paint Distress Ink, and I just wanted to do that so it would have more depth to it, and I also just gave it a little bit of details with the edge of the blending tool. Again, just so it'll look a little bit more like bushes and it just wouldn't be flat looking. So I did that and it was quite easy. I didn't work too hard on that. And there are all my layers, and I'm just going to adhere them with my ATG tape. And I just laid down, and by the way, this card is 5 3/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. So it's a card base of 11 by 5 3/4. Oh well, anyways, here's the grass that I had embossed, and again, I'm adhering it. I added lots of tape to that because embossed pieces like that, if you don't adhere them well, they'll like crinkle and stuff. So I wanted to adhere that well, and it was a little longer than I had expected, so I just cut off the excess. And that heart paper that you see there, I used this paper pad from K & Company. It's called Kazoo, and it's an older line by K & Company. I think it's from 2009. I'm not sure if you can find that anymore, but I thought I would share where that paper was from. And now I'm going to adhere those bushes on there. And again, I'm using my ATG tape for that. And this is also going to have a bit of overhang because if you can recall, I cut that out of a 6x6 paper pad, and this card is 5 3/4 wide. So there was just a little bit of excess there, and again, an easy fix. I just cut it off with my scissors. Now here's the doghouse that I drew. I'm going to cut off the inside, and that way I can pop up the actual house and have the inside well, you'll see. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll see in a second. I'm going to pop up the actual house with some foam tape, and I won't show my whole process of that because I know you guys don't want to see me just putting foam tape all over the house, so I just filmed a tiny piece of that. So here you can see I added all the tape on there off camera. And I'm just going to adhere it onto the card. And now I'm going to add the inside of the card, the inside of the doghouse, I'm going to add it flat on the card. That way it looks like it has a little bit more depth to it. So there you can see that. Of course, I had forgotten that I wanted to put the dog inside the doghouse. So I had to pull up the foam tape and put him in there. And I was just checking to see that he actually fit in there because I had forgotten to check that. And I'm just adding some ATG tape to the back of him. And I'm putting him back in there again, which of course I'll have to take him out again because I forgot that I wanted to do something. And you'll see that in a little bit. So here you can see I pulled him out again out of the doghouse because I had forgotten that I wanted to cut his paws off. And that was to be able to put a little sign on him, and it looks like he's still holding it. So now I can put him in the doghouse and he can stay there. So there I'm fiddling with him and just putting him back in there. And here I'm going to put a little sign that says Valentine's Day, because if you can see on the doghouse I wrote happy, and that way his sign can just say Valentine's Day. And here I'm just taking off the backing off of those stickers because they had a paper backing to them. So there, I was just fiddling with it to get it where I wanted. And I cut off the left side of his heart that says puppy love. I cut off the left side because I didn't like the way that looked. And you'll see that in a second. So see, I cut off part of the heart on the left side. Now I'm adding some zig two-way to his feet so it would stick down better. And now I'm going to adhere his paws. And I use my little tweezers for that. Those are great for handling little objects like that. So I'm putting it where I wanted it, and I'll do that with the other one. Those tweezers are amazing for that because it's not very easy to put adhesive on those tiny little pieces and hold on to it at the same time. So there, my little dog is finished, and the doghouse as well. And I'm going to show you the stickers. So that's the sticker that I use for his sign, and that's from the Target dollar spot from this year. And now I pulled out these dog stickers. I thought they were perfect for this card, and these I got them at the Dollar Tree this year. And I just got some of the stickers and I put them on this white cardstock because those are pretty thin stickers, and if I were to just stick them onto that embossed piece, it wouldn't look right. It would be it wouldn't look right. I don't know how to describe it, but I decided to just adhere them on some white cardstock. That way they'd be more like die cuts and they'd adhere better to the card. So here I just fussy cut them out, and I only show you how I fussy cut the bowl. I don't think you guys want to see me fussy cutting everything, but I just did that. And there you can see the little bowl, and it's sturdier too. So I did that with the bone and the heart as well. I did those off camera. Here I just cut them out so I can do that better. So there you can see I've cut them all out. Here I'm adding some ATG tape to the back of them because they were no longer stickers because I put them on the white cardstock. So there I noticed that I had to put some foam tape to the bowl because the doghouses popped up, so the bowl wouldn't adhere well. So I just did that. Then I pulled out these foil hearts, and I had gotten these from Target about 2 years ago, and I was going to put that heart on there, but it was too big, so I just took off the smaller heart from the top, and I was just trying to fiddle with it so I wouldn't mess up the larger heart in the process. So here I added some two-way glue to the heart, and I just added it to the doghouse. And here I'm using these little conversation heart stickers. I got these from Target this year, and I'm gonna make those as if they were flowers. I thought it worked well with the embossing folder I used for the grass. And you can't see too well what they say. They have different cute little sentiments like you rock, wow, you rule, super, things like that. And I just pulled out one of my green Spectrum Noir markers just to draw in a stem, nothing fancy. Just wanted you to be able to tell that they were supposed to be flowers. So we are just drew in some quick leaves and flowers, not supposed to be a masterpiece or anything. It's just so you can tell that they're flowers. And I did this with my Spectrum Noirs because they were close by, but you could do that with any markers because I didn't do any blending or anything. Now, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with those hearts. You can see me moving them around. I ended up putting them there on the bottom. I just got my Zig 2-way glue again, and I'm adhering that heart down there. And this one as well, I adhered it in the bottom and the bone too. I was going to put them in the back, but I didn't think it looked proportionate, so that's why I put it in the front. Now on the bushes I put 2 little hearts. I didn't put too many because I thought it was already looking a little bit busy, so I kept it as simple as I could. And then I put these 2 dogs on there, and that's from Target as well. I got that a few years ago. And I just put 2 little dogs back there. And I think that's it for the front of the card. Now I'm going to finish off the inside, so I just grabbed some scraps. I try to finish the inside of my cards with scraps whenever I can, so I did that for this card. So that blue heart paper is the scrap that I had from the front of the card. Now I'm cutting off the excess of that. I prefer to usually cut off the excess than have to sit down and measure it. So whenever I can do that, that's what I end up doing. The yellow paper, as you can see, is crooked, but you can't tell too much once I put the stickers on there. So here I'm just adding some more Dollar Tree stickers, and they're just the little dogs with the hearts on them. And I put a little heart up there as well, and that's it for the inside. So I finished off the card just by adding a little bit of stickles to the heart on his collar, and that was it for the card. And those were candy cane stickles, by the way. So that is my card. So here is the outside again, and I'm just showing a close-up of it. And there's the inside again. So thanks for watching. Bye.